Welcome back to Rare Finds and Raw Reviews. Today we're going to talk about the skin product that saved my acne. Okay, now the funny story behind this particular product, I know all my platforms are about rare finds. Well, this product I found almost 2 decades ago and it saved my skin, and the way I found it was through an infomercial. I'm sure your minds are blown. You're like, what? An infomercial? Yes, an infomercial. So infomercials for this time, you're going to see it on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, or your ads. So all those little ads that you see, those were infomercials for us from our time. So when we would see infomercials, they only came out on TV. So for me, it was a rare find, just because you wouldn't find it in any store. It was not on the shelves. It was literally online only. So if you guys are familiar with that, there are a lot of products that are not in the stores. You have to buy directly from the vendor. So this particular product is Proactiv. So Proactiv did save my skin. I'm a late bloomer, so I actually broke out in my college years. So I did start off with their starter kit, which if you go to their website, they're going to recommend to try it first. It's very low on the active acne ingredient. I think it's just like mellow, so it's not overwhelming, because there are some folks that don't have acne as bad and they have other folks that have severe acne. Well, I had severe acne, but I think because I was young, my hormones were a little bit on the low side, so it kind of worked together. So that worked for me for about a decade, and then after that my hormones changed, so I needed something a little bit stronger. So this is the product that I use from Proactiv, which is their extra strength formula. I don't know if you guys can see that. Maybe it's shining too much. Anyways, so I use this one the best. They do have benzoyl peroxide. This one has 8.5%. I don't remember what the other one had, but I know it was on the lower end. I think I want to say it was like either 5 or 6%. So 8.5% was definitely a step up for me. So, and whenever they do their kits, it's always the cleanser, the toner. I don't know if you guys can see that. So I think it's probably the light shining, but that's step 2. And then your treatment, I don't know if you guys can see that, and which would be step 3. So for back then, I didn't even know about SPF, unless you went to the beach, and then you just kind of like, okay, just protect myself so I don't get sunburned. But it's so important for your skin. I suffer from hyperpigmentation, because nobody ever told me that, hey, you should use that so when you get older, you never have to worry about sun damage, and et cetera, et cetera. So even during my time before Proactiv came around, I had no idea about skincare or anything like that. None of my family really talked about it. It wasn't a thing, even though I do come from a line of family that had acne, and they were just like, yeah, just it'll go away, you'll grow out of it. No. I mean, even though I probably had to deal with it my whole summer before going into school, like, college, it was just really bad. So anyhow, I went into the stores, didn't even know what to look for. I didn't even know I had acne. I didn't even know it had a name. I was just like, I have all these pimples on my face and I don't know what to do, So when I saw the infomercial, I was blown away, because I was like, oh, it has a name. It's called acne. I was like, oh my gosh, my mind was blown. I was like, I need to have that stuff. If that really does that for those folks, it's got to do that for me. And it did. It started working within the first month, honestly. It was like I could feel the tingling. I could just feel like I was doing right to my skin. So by the time the second month came around, I just started noticing that, because I want to say I had like 3 layers of acne just sitting on top of each other. So I could just feel the layers going down. And then by the time I got to 90 days, I could feel my skin, like my natural skin. And it was smooth, and it was just the best feeling ever. So I always thank Proactiv, because without Proactiv, I probably would be suffering with acne all that time, because it literally cleared up my skin, and it stayed like that for a whole decade until my hormones changed. And then they had this. Now the only sad thing about this is that they no longer sell this. I don't know why. I've tried to find out, and they just basically said they came up with 2 different lines, which I do use some of their other lines. Unfortunately, I can't find a white label, and white label is basically companies that sell the ingredients and let you slap on your name on it, and voila, you make this product too. That's what it is. Or some folks will say dupes, so, but I guess the right language or terminology would be white label. So I haven't found one for this, but I did find another cleanser that's really good. My daughter swears by it, so I'm gonna get on it as soon as I'm done with it. I'm not ready to let go, but yes, that's unfortunate. I mean, I would recommend this one. However, they no longer sell this, but don't you worry, because I am on the hunt. I'm gonna try the one I got for my daughter, and she swears by it. She says it's better than Proactiv. We'll have to see about that. So I haven't found a dupe for this one or a white label for this one, but I did find a white label for the toner. So when I do, like, once I show all my products, and I will do a review on white labeling, and I'll show you which ones are the ones that I recommend that have the exact same ingredients, different name, better pricing. And this one, the treatment, I don't think I have a white label for this one just yet. I think I'm still on the hunt for this one. I could be wrong. I'll have to double check that one. Now, so those are the 3 that I do use. So this is their second line, which is the Proactiv Plus, and this is a little bit on a mild side. This is an exfoliator, so I don't recommend using it every day, because if you're familiar with it, it kind of just like tears down the skin. You don't want to do that, and it'll dry it out. But what you can do, and what I do recommend, is that you do use this every other day, just to kind of get some of that dead skin. If you're breaking out, kind of take all that, the infection and everything away. So I highly recommend this part of their brand, the exfoliator. The other 2 that goes to it, like the cream, I'm not sure if they have a toner, but I know that they have a cream that goes to this one. So I do use that one. I also use, and they still sell that because that's their second line. And then I also use their clarifying night cream. I don't know if you guys can see that, maybe the lighting. Anyhow, I use this. This is so good. Like, they still sell it. So anything that they discontinue, when I do talk about white labeling, I will let you know which ones have it, so you can still take advantage of the great ingredients that these particular products have. So this one's really good. It has retinol in it, and it's just, it feels so good on the skin. I mean, you get like, a little tingling, but you just feel it. It's just like so smooth afterwards. Highly recommend to add it to your routine if you just want to have just a nice glow, and you just want to have like just the smoothness, and wake up with, literally, like when you wake up, you have a glow. It's just, highly recommend this one. And it does have acne fighting ingredients in it. My kit that I use is benzoyl peroxide. These 2 have different acne fighting ingredients. I won't go over it just because I don't want to cause any confusion, so I'll just stick to the benzoyl peroxide. But I do recommend these, and they do have acne fighting ingredients, so they're good for acne prone skin, if you're curious about that. Now, remember I was talking about SPF? The best SPF ever. Like, literally, it has a preventative so you don't break out, because some SPFs, they will cause you to break out, and with this one, it is made for acne prone skin. Anytime like I break out, whether I'm using a different tinted moisturizer, but it is made for acne prone skin, but I break out of it, just because it might be like the tint, I will jump right back on this, and it'll be like it never happened. So they did I'm all tongue tied. They did discontinue this one, but I did find a white label for this one, so I got you guys. This is really nice because it does have a matte finish to it, so if you use it by itself, great. If you use it under your makeup, beautiful. All I have to say is I got you on this one. And the other one is also for acne prone skin, so I'll take care of you guys when it comes to that. But I recommend SPF, and if you're going to use one, use this one. I know that they don't have it on the site, so don't worry when I finish with all my other products and I start on the white label, I'll go over that. Now, the one saving grace for my whole routine, and this is the only product that I use every single day because I do skin confusion. So I don't use the same products every single day. You're gonna see I have a boatload of products, but let me just tell you, even with the boatload of products that I do have, they last a really long time because you don't use it every single day. Retinol. So this is their third line, which is Proactiv MD. And I believe they bought this out 2 years ago. And I tried it out, wasn't a whole, huge fan. And so I committed to it. And then when I committed to it, it was like the best thing ever. So this is the only thing I use every single day. You can only use it once a day because it's retinol. And I use it at night. So highly recommend. They didn't discontinue this one. You can get it. It does last you a long time because of how big it is. It's a 1.6 ounce. So I think it's worth the investment. But in case you don't, I did find a white label on this, so got you on this one. And the last thing that I use is their skin purifying mask. I do this on a spa day whenever I can, maybe once a month or so. I'll try to do that. So this also has acne fighting ingredients. So yes, it's good for acne prone skin. So anytime that you want to get your skin all purified and just start fresh, I would recommend this. It's absolutely amazing. So just to kind of sum up, basically everything that I talked about, you guys can go to my Instagram. If you guys don't follow me already, it's the one and only Grace, and I talk about zinc. So just remember, before you get all about the outer, you got to work on the inner. So zinc is really good. I did a small little clip about that. I may do a YouTube video on it. I did get a bunch of stamp approvals that it's one of the best zincs out there. So I would highly recommend checking out my video on zinc. And part of my routine to prevent my breakouts is 1, being on zinc, 2, washing my face twice a day. Now, when I broke out horrifically, I was literally drying out my skin and I was washing my face 3 times a day. But once it toned down and it got better, I went back to 2 times a day. And then the last thing is, naturally my body's going to cycle, so I will naturally break out. But if I do the 2 main things, which is take my zinc, wash my face twice a day, I will prevent those breakouts. Now, even though my body cycles and I will get a pimple here or there, the good thing about those 2 remedies that I do is that those pimples only last 1 or 2 days, which is so much of an improvement because my acne would last 2 weeks. So, so find a routine that works for you. Benzoyl peroxide works for me. My daughter had to carry on the acne, so it works for her as well. So my next video, I'm going to be talking about the next product that I also use that I highly recommend. So everything that I'm going to come on here and talk about, I highly recommend. Those are all things that are working for me. These are all things that I continuously use day in, day out. And one recommendation I would want to make to you is that make sure that you find a product that works for you. So when it comes to everything in life, there's not a one size fits all. You just got to take the information, it's free information, and just try to apply it to you until you find your routine, until you find the products that work for you. It's out there. Don't give up. The worst thing that you could do is give up. You've had it this long. It doesn't hurt to keep fighting for it and trying to find the best preventative for you. So again, just remember, there's not a one size fits all, so let this be your starting point, and I'll see you guys again soon, and we'll talk about more skin